Hi guys, this is Mario Obo. Normally I usually wait for about a few weeks before I do videos, but I was touched to talk about this, you know what I mean? I just received a phone call from a guy an African fella who lives in Europe, one of the European nations. I'm not going to mention the name of the country. I'm not going to mention his name because he gave me permission to share this video, but he told me not to mention his name. Now, this is not the first time I've gotten such stories, you know what I mean? But his own was so compelling, and I actually want to talk about it because a lot of men out there are facing this issue. See, I want to talk about leaving your spouse in Africa, leaving your wife in Africa, you know what I mean? Now, you see, when people come online and they talk about migration, they talk about, the issues of migration. I recommend those people, and I really want to tell African people to really listen to when words like this are being spoken. Because migration is not just tough on the mind, it's tough on families, you know what I mean? But I'm moved to do this video. Now, this guy had lived in Europe for about 12 years, you know what I mean? He has a wife and 3 children back home. So every year he goes back and forth, goes back and forth, goes back and forth, but this time, you know what I mean? He has gotten his papers now in that country, and now he wants to now migrate his whole family to join him in Europe. So the Department of Immigration told him now, for you to bring your family to join you in Europe, you're going to have to do your DNA testing. So he has no worries. He had all the documentation, the birth certificate, he got everything. You know what I mean? And then he took his family and then they went to do the DNA testing in one of the nominated hospitals. So when the DNA testing results came out, they found out that out of that, they called him down to the Department of Immigration and they told him that out of the 3 children, the only one was his own child. The DNA testing has come out negative for the other 2 children. And now this guy couldn't believe it. He's heartbroken. While he was talking to me, he was actually crying. And you could see that, you could see that pain in his heart. So I want to do this video quickly to talk about leaving your spouse, back in Africa. You know what I mean? See, when you have a wife, when you have a family back home, and due to the hardship that you face, you decide to get on a plane to leave home, to go and look for greener pastures outside. There is no guarantee with a time and date that you're going to come back and see your family again. That's the God's honest truth. You see, if you are thinking about migration and have a family, just know for sure that the day you travel out, there is no guarantee of the day that you're going to see your family again. Now, this is one of the effects of migration. That's why migration is very heavy on the mind. While he was talking to me, I told him a story that I'm going to say now. There is an African couple in Sydney, Australia. I'm not going to mention the country again. Now, these people, husband and wife, they came to Australia on a student visa. All right. The husband, to get his papers, had to marry a white woman. The wife, to get her papers, had to marry a white man because they didn't come as husband and wife. They came as 2 independent people. All right. Now, when the husband told the white wife that his African wife was his sister. So whenever the sister or the wife comes to visit him in his house, he would see the white woman kissing her husband, caressing her husband, and then she would get angry. When he goes to see his own wife, his own sister, he see the white man holding his wife, touching his wife, and he became uncomfortable with it. This is one of the effects of migration. Now, even though they're still married, even though they're still together, that effect, that hurt, that bitterness that came as a result of finding their way in this Western nation has affected their marriage so bad. You know what I mean? You could see them arguing, fighting every little time. They're arguing, fighting. And when I'm with them, I could see that bitterness, is in their heart because of what, they had to go through in order to remain here. You know what I mean? When he was talking to me, I said something to him now, and I'm going to say this to every African man out there who is in this predicament, who while you're away back in the Western nation, your wife was having an affair. I want to tell you something. You have to forgive your wife. Now, this may sound so stupid to you, but you have to really forgive your wife. It is not easy for a woman to sit down by herself for 12 years and all you do is come once or twice in a year to touch her. It's not easy. That is a woman right there. She has blood flowing in her vein. All right? You're going to have to forgive her. All right? Now, I'm not saying that you should bring her back into your life. That is your choice. But do not hold anything in your heart against her. All right? Don't hold anything in your heart against her. You're going to have to release forgiveness on her because why? She's only human. And because of the field has been left unattended, she has now become vulnerable. You know what I mean? Because women are actually not as strong as we claim. You know, some women are actually not as strong as they claim to be. So you're going to have to forgive her. All right? You see, channel that anger that you have right now for your wife to the people who have destroyed Africa. If Africa was good, there would be no reason for us to migrate in the first place. If Africa was good, there would be no reason for us to leave our home, to travel out to Western nations and to do odd jobs, and to go through all the climate changes and to feel very uncomfortable, all right? So rather than be angry with your wife, channel that anger to the people that stole from you, the people who are ruining Africa, causing massive migration every day. You know what I mean? These are one of the effects of migration. So my brother, I need you to forgive your wife for what she has done, all right? Now, this doesn't mean that you have to receive her as your wife again. That is your personal choice. And for you ladies out there, this is not a license for you to start having extramarital affairs just because your husband is hustling, he's breaking his back, you know, back in Western nation. You see, we work hard out here. All right. And you know, we have our own cultures and tradition whereby when you start to have affairs, it can even affect your family. You know what I mean? So this video is not giving you permission to do that. This video is to calm things down. All right. If your wife had an affair or had a child from someone else, please don't be angry. Release forgiveness on her. You know what I mean? It's not her fault. This is one of the effects of migration. All right. My name is Mario Obo. God bless Africa. One love.